Today I would like to argue the problem that the problem so, and for example, the UN Convention of the Rights of People with Disabilities or other treaties like that, or as I already said, the democratic idea is, for example, that you try to um, reach equal rights for everyone. That means also equal access to services and information. Of course, it doesn't make a lot of sense to behave morally, but in our everyday life that a full moral life is very difficult. Today, everybody believes that he or she is acting morally correct. For example, many people leave their rubbish in the park because they say, "Oh, I don't want to take it with me. The rubbish bin was full." Some others doing the same. Anybody will put it away, and we will pay taxes for other people to put it away. So everybody finds a reason why his or her behavior is morally correct. Let me give another example, the vegan lifestyle. Uh, I think most of us know that animals are suffering or dying for our consumption of food, or accessible, especially for meat and milk and eggs. We know that, and we do. The logical consequence would be to avoid the consume of meat and eggs and other animal products. But as we already know, most people doesn't do that. 1% vegan. Here in Germany, we have 1%, around 1% vegan and around 10% vegetarian. And most people who know that animal food is suffering for animals, um, and they know that there's ecological problems, there's the health problems with food from animals, but they don't stop eating animal food. The thing is that we are rationalizing what we do. It means everybody can tell you reasons why his or her behavior is the right thing for her, or she couldn't do couldn't behave in another way. Um, and perhaps they are right. And of course, it was a private example. But if we look on the professional area, of course, you have to see that digital accessibility can cost a lot of money and other resources, which the companies perhaps don't have. And we as any professionals, we are ducking away when the money argument comes. We say, okay, you have money for other things, which is right, of course, but we say that, okay, you can perhaps get money from other places, you can foundation money, can get foundation money or things like that. But we do not answer really the question, what is the money question? We do not really answer it. One problem with a moral argument is that most people find it right. Nobody or almost nobody would say, okay, I don't care about people with disabilities or things like that. But they say, okay, it's maybe the right thing to do, but we have no money. We have a relatively small target group for accessibility, around 10%. So perhaps we don't have disabled clients. It doesn't fit in our corporate design or things like that. And these are the arguments they don't tell us because they don't want to shame us or they don't want to be they don't want to be want to discuss this with that with us. And they silent when we say, okay, you have to care about accessibility, as they do what they did before. Another thing is that we in many cases are recurring on the care thought. That means that two people without disabilities are talking about accessibility, and there's no person with a disability involved. And that makes it very difficult for us because people with disabilities are made to objects. And the last thing is that the moral argument always seems to be the last resort. You have no other arguments that you can say, okay, oh, you have to care, you have to be morally right. And since it seems that you don't have other arguments which are convincing, which are convincing the people. The conclusion: there may be some people who care about the moral argument, but most people will close when you argue with them morally, in a moral way. They will accept it. They will agree that this is the right thing to do. But they will say, okay, we don't have the money, it is not important, there's no priority, and things like that. And from their perspective, they are right. That is the reason why you don't should argue morally, but use other things like return on investment, purchase power, and things like that, which are much more convincing to people. So that was it for the time. Thank you and goodbye.